Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Where are you watching our videos from? Every part of the globe. Where are you watching from, by the way? Tell us. Me today had a good day. Yes, I was in church. Then when I came back, I did one video and started to watch Arsenal versus Tottenham, and we won. And so I had a good day. I want us to look at matters politics in a very in-depth look. I want to say that President Ruto changed his tone that he was going to fight cartels. And he took a strategic retreat. After taking that retreat, he has decided and he made a very sensational claim that the cartel, or rather the cartel demolition squad, was a plan that bordered the state capture inquiry. And when the president was in Nanyuki, the deputy came up to say that they were planning for a historic homecoming in Sagana, where they would sit with the president and they would talk matters coffee and that. But William Ruto, being the shrewd politician he is, he decided to stay back. But remember, before even they were sworn in, this is what he used to say.
Musikue na wasiwasi na biashara hiyo, na wale mabroka na makatel wasiwatishe. Mimi mumenipatia kiboko, hawa watu nitawanyorosha. Unajua Yesu siku moja alienda sinagogi, akakuta wakora na bukatel kama hii ya miraa wamejaa huko kanisani, mara wanauza nini kwa kona nyingine hapo, mara wanauza sijui nini kwa kona nyingine. Yesu akachukua kiboko akawanyorosha. So hii cartel mniwachie. Nikiweka tu Biblia Tuesday chini, mimi na wao.
That was interesting, and in that he was referring to the ones in the miraa sector. But months later, I think he called himself for a meeting. And also, as a man that have had experience in the politics and the governance of this country, he decided to do a retreat and gave Rigathi Gachagua that role. And so Kenyans have been asking that we have institutions that can deal with that are supposed to do that even without the enforcement from a deputy president. We have task force. In fact, even President Uhuru Kenyatta had a coffee task force. And Uhuru may have not sorted the milk issue, but he truly tried on the coffee and tea. And the president have also had an intervention by providing affordable fertilizer for the coffee and the tea farmers. It's selective, but it's there to help them. And so, even after giving Rigiji, the public raised questions and was saying, and they were warning Rigiji, that Ruto is setting you up for a backlash. So today in Bomet, the president had to come and defend himself. And now, when I saw that defense, I realized, okay, this thing, kumbe, even them, even the president had known that Kenyans were talking about it. And so he was, I want to listen to the way he was telling Rigiji, Omba,
ya kupanga na kufukuza wakora na matapeli na brokers katika hiyo kona, huyu deputy president ataongoza. Na nimempatia hiyo kazi kwa sababu najua anaweza. Na kwa sababu mimi najua roho yake, anapenda watu wadogo. Na atashughulika hiyo kazi ifanyike. Naona kuna watu wengine wanaendesha propaganda ati nimempatia hiyo kazi, ati ndio yeye, ati ni mtego, ati ndio yeye aanguke. Kwani huyu deputy president akianguka mimi nitakuwa nasimama? Si huyu akianguka hata mimi nimeanguka? So na wale wanajaribu kupinga yeye asifanye hiyo kazi is because they know hawezi kuleta mchezo pale. So Bwana Deputy President, move with speed. Hiyo watu wote wakora na watapeli na wale wote wakwende kabisa. Yes. Ndio raia na wananchi wale wa kahawa, wale wa chai, wale wa maziwa wapate haki yao, tupeleke Kenya mbele na tutumie chai, kahawa na maziwa kupanga mambo ya agro processing.
I wish that Rigathi sees the red flag, because it's not that rosy as we may want it to be, or as he might want it to be. And I want to point out one thing. I've been trying to talk to people, and actually was doing research on tea, coffee, and milk supply chain. I'll do that comprehensive analysis sometime later. And I realized that some of the problems in this sector are problems that have been here since, like, for the last 40 years. So it's not an overnight solution. It's not something you're going to come and fix. And tea, coffee, and milk is backbone of Mount Kenya economy, including the mira from Meru, the rice from Kirinyaga, and people are also doing macadamia, I think, from Muranga. Then areas of Nyandarua is cabbage and the waruza. Now, if president will succeed in these three, if president and deputy are going to succeed in these three, then I can tell you, Rigathi will really, if Rigathi succeeds in this assignment, then he will achieve the big game goal. But the challenge here is that it's not rosy and easy. It's a very difficult path. And while you can come out and sell it as something that you can do overnight, you may come to realize that that's not it. And that's what the trap that many have fallen to, that you're saying, I want to do it, but you realize it's not. Now, this is what President has realized, that Rigathi Gachagua, the deputy president, is not so much, as much as he also pursuing the interest of the farmer, but he has a hidden agenda of targeting his political enemies from the region. And he has realized, and Ruto already knows that Rigathi Gachagua's bigger stake is that if you listen to the speech in Bomet, he was speaking passionately about how people who have been exploiting farmers are running big banks and big accounts. So as much as it cuts across, there's no way you can remove these middlemen and cartels, while this is part of the supply chain. It needs a bigger stake. For example, do you know that coffee and tea, that there is auctioneering, the auction in Nairobi and Mombasa, and also in UK. So as much as prices are also affected here locally, but you also have the international market in it. So when you say, I'm going to fix this, and again, even fixing cannot have a bigger margin. In fact, someone was telling me, Kevin, a kg retails at, now the farmer is, like from Kenyaga, the farmer sells at 21 shillings per kg. Then Placas is supposed to take 13, then 7 bob is supposed to go for, the farmer takes 7 bob or something. So the margin has been small. There is Placas Association you have to deal with. So it's not going to be an overnight success, but it's good intention. The president wants it, but it's decided, he's known very well that this is going to be a recipe for chaos. And he wants to spare himself from that drama, so that if it's going to play out, it's going to play out from there. Now, one secret that Rigathi knows is that those who exploit the farmers, they're also members of the boards. And the members of the boards are also sometimes supporting the farmers. So it's a quagmire, if you allow me to say that. What this will do, even though it might deal with the banks as he says, but it's an wider area that even need international players. And this is what I see, that the pace is successfully going to be slowed down by litigation. There are a lot of court cases that are going to be thrown in the way of any move, and because the reason why litigation, there's been a lot of litigation, is the deputy president, being the hands-on man and the man that is really passionate about this, will try to overstretch, because as even in the office as the deputy president, it doesn't have a constitutional mandate to force things. He only has to push the institutions and the agencies that are supposed, government agencies and institutions, whether it is ESCC, that is DCI, whether it is the board, and so the cabinet, it's a lot. But if he tries to make an adjustment, a push that can breach the law, because for it to be done, sometimes we need to remove the bureaucracy. And these guys are going to throw in litigation. Government may end up losing a lot of money on these cases. Or number two, these cases might actually drag in court. And so that is one thing that I see. And I see that coming. The other thing that, the other red flag that Rigathi can also see is the rebels will regroup around the issue if it remains unresolved. As we talk now, the former Murang'a Governor Mwangi Wairia has been really pushing Rigathi that you guys promised to solve this issue, and has started mobilizing. In any chance that it tries to make sure that these things are done, they're going to be repellent forces, which unfortunately is how the cartel industry works, or they're going to metamorphosize. Someone was telling me, Kevin, if you push further, they can even sabotage. If they sabotage for even 1 month, so that coffee farmer, coffee yake imeharibika, they will start blaming the person on top. So, because they are the players there, government does not have an investment in the coffee and the tea supply chain. They don't have the same fuel watu wanalipa wanaweka nao nini kwa gari wakileka kwa kampuni is the same. So if someone tries to withdraw even logistics, or someone tries to withdraw from the supply chain, saying, okay, the business is no longer viable, and so what is going to happen? Government will have to invest in it. So it's also one thing that is seen. The other is farmers might turn against Rigiji. That will be the worst. That would be the tragedy. Where, because of this litigation, nasikia mapesa zimekwama, we have not yet to be paid, there are court cases against this and that is happening, we are waiting to be paid, we are doing review, there would be a lot of dramas and sideshows. Now, this bureaucracy can actually hurt the farmer, as much as he needs the good pay. But if things are if there is a bit of an interruption, and he cannot get his money, remember, the farmer, most of them are small scale. They don't have large scale, so they don't have the luxury of waiting for a year or some time for the money to be received. They need that money to pay the pluckers and to weed off, to buy the machines, and it's a real big thing. So that's why I see that Rigiji must be very careful in it. William Ruto means well with it, but you must ask yourself, why you? That's my take.